organize and figure out with you guys vocab N1 for kanji N1, my reading resources for Mandarin Chinese. I'm just going to transform this landing page here. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to organize my study resources with you guys. What happened is I passed the JLPT N1. I just heard this week on Monday at midnight, and so fortunately I passed on my first try, and today we are Wednesday, and I just want to go through my resources, my study resources with you, specifically my textbooks, organize and figure out with you guys what I'm going to do with them. Do I want to keep them? Do I want to discard them? I really wanted to do that with you guys, bring you along and embrace the show don't tell philosophy. I really believe in that. I have nothing figured out yet. I'm going to do that with you, so this is also why I think it's important for me to film this, because you'll see my raw process. I think this video will be partly vlog style and partly sit down, and I hope you'll enjoy the ride. Right, so I think first I'm going to go through everything I have here and then take it all out on my living room table and then organize it bit by bit. So we're not looking at this part, this is my husband's. We're mostly looking at this bit here and then this whole shelf. And right beforehand I'm just going to do a little reminder, because you can see that there is no resource below N1 level. The reason why I have no more resources below N1 level is because I discarded them, N5, N4, N3, N2 resources when leaving Singapore, when we moved to Japan last year. I filmed videos for you guys. You know, I had filmed one video about the resources I had used, all of them, for N5, N4 level. And so I filmed the exact same video for N3 level and then another video for N2 level, back when I had all of my resources still, all of my textbooks. These videos are filmed, they just need to be edited and then they will go up on my channel, so I hope you're excited for that. But so that explains why I have absolutely no other resources than N1 level and then other resources not linked to JLPT. So anyway, I'm just going to take them all out and see what I can keep and reuse and see what I should discard. Okay, so I think the first step is organizing them all by category. I want to have all the JLPT related ones on one side. Of course, also separate the resources for Mandarin Chinese and separate them per series. So I have a few from Power Doriru and I have a few from Shinkansen Master. Oh, and also the best series. So let me organize them all. Okay, so I'm done. I have a few piles here. Let's go through them. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to take out my Chinese resources. So all of these, I haven't gone through them at all. They're new resources. This is the Speed Master for HSK 1. This has vocab in it and also example sentences. But looking at this one, I think it's probably too easy for me now. So I'm probably going to go through this very quickly and then sell it back at Book Off and take the Nikyu one. Yes, I'm just gonna go quickly through it, but probably I know all of it, so yeah, not gonna be very useful. The same goes for this one, though I don't think I will be selling it back because I will be writing in it. An exercise book for beginners in the language all children. It looks good. You do have to learn how to properly write Hanzi in Mandarin Chinese. The order of the strokes is a bit different than for the kanji in Japanese, so I do have to relearn everything, so that will take me a bit of time. So these two I will keep, and then I have this book from the Lee sisters. They have a YouTube channel. I like them a lot. They have this whole book for beginner level, 基礎から中国語. And so it's for 発音, pronunciation, 文法, grammar, 会話, conversation. This whole book is designed in such a way that it makes you progressively learn Chinese. Excited to study with this one. Then lastly, for study resources for Chinese, I have this one, which is 初めての中国語文法. So this is specifically for grammar only. This is like this inside. Also looks great and a lot of fun. I think I know a lot of what is being taught in this textbook, but still I want to study with it, so I will keep it. And now moving on to my reading resources for Mandarin Chinese. So I have, of course, the first Harry Potter book, because my goal for each of my new languages is to learn how to read the first Harry Potter book. So far I've read it, of course, in French, in English, in Japanese, and so I want to read it in Mandarin Chinese. So yeah, I love the cover illustration. Look at that, it's beautiful. Cannot wait to be able to read this. And finally, recommended by Tom Reed, we have the graded Chinese reader, 500 words, mini stories, and it looks like this inside. It has this cover sheet to cover the pinyin. I haven't touched any of this. I will keep them all and study with them. Okay, so next, I have the Shinkansen Master for vocab N1, for kanji N1, and for reading comprehension N1. The one for reading comprehension, I went through it already, and since I passed the exam, I'm gonna discard this one. This was a great resource, by the way. The one for kanji and the one for vocab are untouched, and I will keep them because these two, I'm definitely not at that level yet. Even though I passed the exam, I will need to continue studying, and I will keep these two Shinkansen Master for sure. Alright, moving on. My drill books. So I have this one, which is actually untouched. Really, I don't know what to do with this one, because since it is untouched, I do want to go through it quickly. I do think it's still a good study resource, and I do like quizzes, so probably I'm gonna keep this. Then we have these two power drill, which I have gone through and which I will discard. So I have this one for grammar and I have this one for vocab. Looks like this inside. I went through them, and yeah, I will discard them now. I don't need them anymore. So they were great. They really prepared me well for the exam. I love this series anyway. We got this one, the TROUVEZ reading practice book. I will be discarding this one. I went through it, and for the same reason that I will be discarding the Shinkansen Master for reading comprehension, I will be discarding this one too. Then we have the best practice test, the best complete workbook. These two I haven't touched at all, and I will be keeping them for the same reason as I will be keeping this one. It's gonna take me a while to go through them, but yeah, just to continue learning all this material, which I don't know 100%. I think it'll be great because they seem to be like very good books. And then finally we got this one, which is another practice test book. I went through it, so basically it has 3 mock tests inside, like this, like pop mock tests, just like the exam. I think you've probably seen me use this in vlogs when I was preparing for the exam. I've gone through all of them, so there are 2 inside this book and there is 1 online, and I did them all, so I will be discarding this one too. And now moving on to the Yoku Wakaru series. Okay, so the Yoku Wakaru series, I have 3 books from it. I have used only this one. This one I went through it completely. This is the vocab textbook. It's mainly the textbook I used for vocab studying. I only did vocab drills after that, so yeah. This was a great textbook, and I will not be discarding them, even though I went through it because I still need to refer to it. This one not so untouched, but I simply referred to some of the grammar. This is the grammar one. This is a textbook-like book. There is no exercise in it. It's simply reference of the grammar. This is my grammar textbook. I will be keeping it for now, again, for reference purposes. And then finally, we've got this one. So this is the reading comprehension practice book, and I will definitely keep this one. I haven't touched it, so yeah, I'll just be going through it. That will be the one I'll be using for further reading practice. And now moving on to non-GLPT related books. Right, so mainly last year and the year before, I wanted to study with resources for Japanese children, and specifically the things they were learning. This is the Delujun series. So basically it's for the entrance exam of high school in Japan. Just a practice book for kids before they sit this exam. So this is Kokugo Dokkai. So this is for reading comprehension. It was really hard when I went through it. I went through it all already. And actually I'll be discarding it because I don't really need it anymore. This one was for Kotowaza, Goku and Bunpo, and this one I haven't gone through it all, so I will be finishing this one. And this one I'll probably not be keeping it. This was a practice book to learn about all the prefectures in Japan. I don't need this book anymore, but this was a very useful book. I really liked it. It was great to study with it. This one is a recent acquisition of mine. This is, as you can see on the title, 1,800 words for people up to 15 years of age that they must know before they reach 15. This is really a typical vocab book. So it has the word, the explanation of the word, its meaning, example sentence, and then the synonyms, the words they are connected to. Categorized in basic level, intermediate level, and upper level. Okay, moving on to BJT resources, which I'll probably keep, to be honest. I've gone through all of these. So this is the Nippon no Kaisha. This has exercises inside for real life examples of how working in a Japanese company looks like and how you should respond to people in different situations, how you should express yourself. Very useful one. This is the BJT Dokkai book. I went through it all. I'll be keeping this, and probably because I'll be resitting the BJT to get a higher score in the future, I'll be going through this book again. And then this one is for one Mogishiken, so one mock exam, and I will be keeping it for the same reason as the reading comprehension one. Still for business Japanese, I have this one, writing business emails in Japanese. Inside it looks like this, so basically you have example sentences of how you can formulate different things in your emails in Japanese. Very useful book. I will definitely keep this. This is just for to be used as reference, not so much to study, even though I went through it once in full. Then we move on to this book, which is specifically for ryugakusei, for reading practice, and it has academic Japanese, as it says here. I haven't gone through it at all, so I will need to do that and tell you guys how it is. And just so you know, this is the first one, and there are actually 6 if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the next few years. I may go back to university, so that will be useful for me to know about this. And even if the level is low, for sure the vocab I don't know it all, so I will need to in any case study the vocab. Authentic Japanese textbook. I have made a whole video about this book. I kept it just, I think, maybe to refer back to it and see how my level improved. At the time I went through this textbook, it was really difficult for me. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep it because I'm curious. Moving on. This one is a reading comprehension book again, and this is supposed to be for advanced learners. It seems to be a workbook-like textbook. Alright, then we have this one, the Reporto Nonbun. This is a book that prepares you to write papers, dissertations, and reports in Japanese. specifically for school, of course, university. And I was keeping it for after I passed the N1, so here we are, I passed the N1, so now it's time for me to go through these kinds of books, you know. Right, then we have these two, which are really practice books, but more like reference book. This one is for filling out forms in Japan, so it's for administrative purposes. When you live in Japan, you have to fill out forms by hand a lot. For the times I am by myself, this definitely comes in handy, so let me give you an example. When you go to the hospital, you have a few forms to fill out, and basically they have them copied inside this book, and they tell you how to fill these out. It's absolutely amazing. Look at this, for example. This is a resume. It has example of sentences and all. And then this one is basically for business purposes, and again, it has a lot of examples of emails. I will be definitely keeping these. And actually it wraps up all the study resource I have at the moment, and so I'll be taking these and putting them on my Notion and then organizing how I want to study them. I've opened my Notion, and this is my page for N1 preparation, so up until the exam, what I was planning to do. I didn't end up doing everything because I was mainly focused on mock tests right before the exam, so the exam was this date on 2nd of July. Before that I did 6 mock exams. So anyway, I'm just going to transform this landing page here for my Japanese study on my Notion with you guys. Okay guys, we are done. So basically what I did is I restructured a little bit this landing page for my studies. Actually, here I'm gonna also rename it Nihongo no Benkyou. Here I have my goals from now on. So I want to get a higher score at the BJT, the Business Japanese Test. I want to practice kanji, improve my vocab, and study academic writing and reading. For my pages linked to this, I have a few notes from my conversation practice lessons whenever I want to reference them. Then I have my N1 Goukaku no Michis. I will talk about this and present you this in another video. And this page here, this last one, is basically notes I took on Keigo and Business Japanese. Right, so here we have a broad view of one specific database. This is for the phase 5 resources. This phase 5 is meant to be the phase after the GLPT, and so we're here guys, so this is the only database I need now. I have now 4 columns. I just added this one, the 4 reference column, so this will be for textbook I want to just keep as reference books. On this side I have the not started and in progress columns, so nothing incompleted yet since I just entered this phase. And the in progress textbooks, I have the N1 Tango 3000. Actually this one is in digital format, which is why I haven't shown it to you guys earlier. And this one you've seen earlier, and I want to finish it as I said, so I'll be studying with these two next. And then in the not started column we have these textbooks and study resources, so just like, you know, it's the same lineup as I explained to you earlier, so I won't be going through them one by one again. This last one is not bought yet. This is a workbook for academic writing in Japanese. Just to let you know a bit about my structure here, when you go inside each of my cards, the status of this particular resource, whether I bought it or not yet, so this acts as my buying list, you know, my wish list. Then we have the starting date and the finishing date. So that's pretty much it guys. I have gone through all my resources, I've sorted them out, I know which ones I want to discard. I think it'll be much easier for me to go through everything once I have only the ones I want to retain. Here are the resources I want to study with next. So the paper resources, I do have digital resources, but mostly I've gone through them all except the N1 Tango 3000 we just saw. It's on my iPad and that's the only one I still need to go through. As you can see, I do have a lot of textbooks still to go through. I don't plan on putting pressure on myself to finish them within a certain timeline because I don't have any more deadlines in the near future. The BJT, I can take it whenever I want basically. I can just take my time with everything, and I will do another video regarding my Mandarin study plan for the future. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained some insights. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.
You rest on my shoulder. The stars convey